All right, what's good, everybody? Hope everybody's doing well. Today, I'm gonna tell you how to get out of bronze, silver, hard stuck. I know you just want to hit gold. I know you just want to hit gold so you can get that skin and you don't want to deal with competitive, or you just want to hit gold and get out of the worst ranks and, go up where you think it's a little better, which I can't deny it's a little better, but it's not all good. Why would you listen to me? Because I'm not a professional. Yeah, I was stuck in silver, bronze, and all of that, just like you. So, wouldn't it be better to get the information from someone who was in the same position as you rather than someone who's just going to tell you, yo, be elite like me, be good, and it is what it is, right? I mean, you just want to get out of there. You don't want to, you're not those guys. If you were those guys, you wouldn't be watching this video in the first place, okay? So, a little background with me to prove that I'm just like you. I don't play shooters, hero shooters, or any of that. This is the first one. I've dabbled in them, and what I mean by dabbled is, during the Fortnite craze, a friend had me play for a day, hated it. Overwatch, a lady friend had me play for a day, hated it. I mean, Apex, I played for, and by a day, I mean literally like, I'm not talking about 24 hours. I maybe spent maybe an hour or two on each of these games and said, yeah, these aren't for me. So, yeah, I don't play games like this. I usually play MMOs and things like that, action games, single player games. So, yeah, I'm fresh meat to this. I literally started this when Marvel Rivals came out, just like a lot of you did. More background, I'm on PC and I use a controller. If you don't know, using a controller on PC is a severe disadvantage, especially when you're going against other PC players. So there's that. So I don't have the experience. I don't use the best of everything I have to my ability, and I still made it out. So without further ado, tell you some things I learned. Tip number one I can give you is get off your favorite character immediately. I know, bro. I started this. I wanted to play Bucky, Winter Soldier, Punisher all day long. The problem is everybody else wants to play their favorite character. They're going to be on their Spider-Mans and their Black Panthers. You're going to end up with 4 DPS. I mean, this is just the simplest tip I know you've heard before. But get off your favorite character. You can play that when you get higher in the ranks, or if you want to just go rank up to get the Lord banners or the cool emotes or whatever when you kill them. That's fine, man. Do that in quick play or whatever. Competitive, don't do it. Get off your favorite character. You'll be able to play them anytime you want. Play them later. Right now, we're trying to climb. It's not working out. It's not happening. All right. Tip 2 I have. Play in the AM, the morning. Whatever it's called in your country, your part of the world. I don't know if it's universal. Play in the morning. I'm serious. The vast distinction of players that pop on after noon all the way up until 4 a.m. to 5 a.m. I would even say are horrendous. God awful people. Not people in real life, of course, but I shouldn't say people, I should say players. They're just, you get a mixed bag. Sometimes you can get good people within those hours of the day, and sometimes you'll do well and you'll match with people, but I'm going to be all the way real with you. Like maybe 7 to 8 times out of 10, they're going to be horrendous at the game. And that's completely fine. I'm not here to bash anybody. I'm just here to help people climb. I'm horrendous at the game. I mean, but I managed to make it, gold one last season, and I'm in plat this season, and the season's still going on as a new player with controller on PC. So I'm just telling you, it's completely possible. But if you want to climb, play between hours of like 7 a.m. to noon. And after that, if you still want to play the game, you're rolling the dice. And that's completely fine, but just know you're rolling the dice. But you should probably go to quick play or play with friends or something like that. I don't know. AI bot matches, go play another game if you don't want to lose any rank. Now, this isn't a guarantee of like ranking up, but the players are way better at those hours. I don't know if they're just like, they want to get in some scrimmages or something before they got to go to work, or they just hype, or they just got off a long night of work, third shift like I did, and they're ready for some Marvel Rivals to vent that frustration. I don't know what it is, but those are your best chances, best hours at climbing. Seriously. The second thing I could suggest is, well, third thing, actually, we're on 3, is to get at least one competent player on your team. And this isn't a suggestion, actually. If you're going to play with other people, though, get one competent player. That's it. Once you do more than that, you're actually being a detriment to yourself. People are going to smurf. People are going to 3 and 4 stack, and they're going to do it way, 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 way better than you. And you're raising the chances of going against those guys. So you think, oh, I get more players that are decent. You know, I just had a match with this healer or this sniper or this DPS or this tank, and they were super good. Let's group with them and let's go have at it. We're going to be great together. We're going to do good things. And then you run into people who are doing the exact same thing. And y'all may be equal, but they just might have. The thing is, you've just met these people, or you just ran with these people, or you're not familiar with these people, and they probably are. They're probably in a group, they're probably on comms, they're probably doing it way better than you are, and they're going to end up steamrolling your 3. You know, their 3 is going to carry their match, or their 4 is going to carry their side of the match, and yours is not. More people does not mean better rounds, even if they're good. I would suggest at the maximum queuing with 2 people. 3 if you're super, super, super confident in your group of friends and you didn't just meet them, but it's going to be harder in that. You could run into 2 3 stacks on their team, and you can get a 3 stack with your team and 3 randoms. So, and same thing could happen to them, of course, but I would suggest queuing with no more than 1 person, and you both run different roles. Speaking of roles, I said earlier to get off your favorite guy. Yes, you're going to have to play some things you don't like. I started playing this with Winter Soldier and immediately just cycle through things. I realized it's just not going to happen. It's just not going to happen unless I take the initiative. And, you know, I had to choose between healers and tanks. I chose a tank, chose Captain America, learned him, did super good. I actually climbed the goal with Cap. And then I realized if I wanted to get higher than that, you know, I had to be flexible and learn other tanks. So I picked up Strange along the way, since, you know, he's arguably the best tank. You know, I wanted the worst tank and the best tank. That way I can be super flexible. And they both, I'm not necessarily saying they're worst or best. It's based on what you want a player do. But I'm saying I have 2 tanks that do 2 totally different things. You know, Strange is more on the front lines, you know, fighting, protecting. He can do great damage. You know, he's super versatile in everything he does. He can fly, he can teleport, he can do great burst and combos with his ultimate. And Cap's the opposite. You know, he goes, dives like a mosquito, harasses the back line, but it is super useful. He's not going to have a high kill sheet and high kill counter. I mean, he can, but more often than not, his stat sheet isn't going to look impressive, and people are going to be ignoring what he's doing in the back lines. But best believe he's back there doing something, and he's doing it well if he's a good Captain America. So I would say you gotta flex a different role. You gotta do it if you just want to climb. I get it, man. I got on this game and I immediately wanted to be Spider-Man. And then I immediately got off Spider-Man after I was doing the Peter Griffin pose 99.9% of the time in 99.9% of the matches. It just wasn't happening. And yes, I can train Spider-Man and I could be the best Spider-Man and you could be the best Spider-Man, but it's not happening, bro. Let me give you an example. You could be Spider-Man, Psylocke, Punisher, any of the DPS, right? And you could be going crazy in these matches, but this leads into my next point. You're not doing as good as you think you're doing. You're looking at the stat sheet thinking you're doing good. 50 kills means absolutely nothing if you're not helping your team push the cart and you're off doing your own thing. 50 kills means absolutely nothing if the other team's getting 50 kills because they're killing your supports and the team cannot finish the match. You have to keep an eye on everything. Yes, I'm sorry. It's low ranks. It's not your job. You're supposed to be tanking or you're supposed to be healing. I get it. You don't want it. If it's not your job, make it your job. You have to watch everything. You have to watch your back line. You have to watch your front line. You have to keep an eye on your team. Those score sheets look lovely until you see that defeat sign. the you can't win them all symbol going on over and over and over. And you're sitting there thinking to yourself, man, I was the best on my team. I had 40k healing, 50k healing, or I had 15k DPS and 30 kills and 10 final hits or whatever the heck, or I had 50 kills. And yeah, you did, but you're not working with the team. You have to work with the team if you want to get out of this. I get it. This leads into another tip I have. use your mic. And I'm not saying that as just like a normal other person saying use your mic. Like, you can lead the charge. Listen, I got an antisocial tendencies. I don't like talking. Imagine you get on the mic, you do your best, or you're trying to help somebody do your best. You say, hey, can somebody play healing or tank so I can DPS? And they go talk about sticking eggplants in your mother. You're not gonna want to be on the. You're not gonna want to be on the mic, right? You're not. I get it. I get it. You say, hey guys, we need to push ahead, and somebody tells you to shut the F up. You know, jump off a London Bridge or something like that. You're like, okay, I don't want to be in chat. But you had just put on your push to talk. You know, you know, it's gonna. You're not gonna get those people all the time. 9 times out of 10, the bad experience you're having is not gonna be every match, and those are the ones you're gonna win. Like, I've had times I've not said a word, but I've had the chat on and I've listened to people coach the whole team. I've listened to them do call outs. They're like an army drill sergeant. Like, they were built for this, and they've carried the team off words alone, just directing people, making call outs, doing everything. So even if you're not doing the talking, do the listening. Turn the mic on. I know it's annoying. You might not want to have yours on. That's what the push is talk for, because it's loud in the background of your house. Have your mic on. Ping at the very least. Don't ignore the pings. Like, if somebody's ding, 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 I need healing, I need healing, I need healing, you're not healing them. Well, I mean, come on, who's to blame? I get it. Tunnel vision is a real thing, which is another point I want to have. Do not get tunnel vision. Most people see a guy and he's one shot and he's one hit away, and they're like one hit, and all they're focusing is chasing that guy, not knowing there's 3 people healing him. You're never going to kill him. Now you're overextended. You're dead. And the rest of your team is soon to follow because you overextended. Instead of, you could have actually turned around. Newsflash, supports, while you should be doing DPS, it's not your main job. Chill. Turn around and heal. I know you want that pretty stat sheet. If you've learned nothing throughout this video, ignore that stat sheet. Stat sheets, oftentimes, I've seen people with glorious stat sheets. My friend sends them to me all the time, and they're losing the matches. And I'm like, how did y'all even lose this? Because the other team wasn't worried about the stats. They were worried about winning. You want to go highs, kill sprees, and high stats? Look, this isn't Call of Duty. This ain't that. Let's not try to make it that. You know what I'm saying? I mean, if you're just doing that good naturally and you're going all out, hey, props to you. But if that's your main goal, is to go in there and get a pretty stat sheet to share with your friend, and we're not winning, I mean, what did we do in the end? You know, what did we do in the end? So, all in all, man, I would say those are the majority of my tips. The most important one that I've given you out of all of this is to play in between those super good hours of 7 a.m. to noon. I'm telling you, it's gonna up your win rate drastically. And flex, get off those guys. I did not start. It's funnily enough, I did not start this game wanting to be a tank, but now it's my favorite role. You know, I was waiting on Johnny Storm and everything to come out, and the Fantastic Four and all of this, and then I was just like, yo, I'm actually gonna be hyped for playing Thing. You know what I'm saying? Like, I never thought the roles of like Captain America, tanking just sound boring when it's not actually tanking when you look at it. Like, I'm glad they called it Vanguard. And this is another thing I want to tell y'all. Like, you get into these assigned roles and you think you're locked into them. You're like, oh, I don't want to be a tank, man. I want to kill stuff. My guy, Strange, Magneto, Thor, these guys aren't just there to soak up damage. They have big HP bars, but they can do massive amounts, especially people like Thor if you go in Awakening mode, or Doctor Strange when you do. He has a lot of burst. Like, he probably has, a lot of times as a tank, I have as much kills as the DPS sometimes. Unless the DPS are actually doing their jobs. But it's actually strange, pun intended. But yeah, it's the same with like Thor, same, even Cap sometimes. Like, tanking is not tanking. Supporting is not supporting. Sometimes a lot of supports you'll see on the opportunity, like, how did a Cloak and Dagger get 40k heals, but she also got 40 kills? And yeah, you're looking into the roles too much. Don't do that. Like, if you find a character you like outside of your DPS main and you're trying to climb, you can still DPS as long as you're doing your job. You can still get those kills. You can still make yourself look really good. But all in all, man, I'm going to go ahead and get out y'all hair. These are just some of the tips I use to climb as a normal, average Joe, new to this game, new to hero shooters, new to, fighting PC people with mouse and keyboard, having 1v1s with them group fights. I'm using a controller. I mean, if I can do it, you can do it. But y'all stay safe out there. It's your boy, KLG out. And yeah, until next time, peace.